Чи буде це якесь запрошення для цього миротворчого контингенту? And also a question to European leaders. Could you explain specifically what would be a contribution from each of your country? Can we name a number of troops and mandate they will have? And to the American side, if I may, what does it mean being a backstop in these security guarantees? And when are you going to present them to President Trump and to the Russian side? Is there any specific date for meeting? Thank you.
Дякую за запитання. Передусім, я вважаю, що гарантії коаліції охочих повинні працювати разом з гарантіями Сполучених Штатів Америки. І саме так буде. Ми працюємо над тим, щоб це були юридично зобов'язуючі гарантії. Що стосується американської сторони, наші двосторонні гарантії безпеки будуть підтримані Конгресом. Дай Бог, щоб ми дійшли до цього моменту. Ми на це розраховуємо, документи, в принципі, готові, про деталі поки що говорити не можу. Що стосується декларації, це перший крок, який ми підписали, він дуже важливий, він відкриває сам процес, і ці юридично також ці документи будуть юридично зобов'язуючі. Більшості країн із коаліції охочих потрібна підтримка їх парламентів. Тому після декларації, після цього процесу країни йдуть в парламенти. Також розраховуємо на цю підтримку.
So with regards to the security guarantees, there was extensive conversations about that with President Zelenskyy and President Trump at Mar-a-Lago in December. And I think that they really resolved most, if not all, of the issues that are outstanding on that. These have been really designed over the last really month in consultation with the Ukrainians, with the Europeans. I will say I think today was a very, very big milestone, and I thank President Macron for assembling this and for all of the work that everyone here has done behind the scenes to bring this together. This does not mean that we will make peace, but peace would not be possible without the progress that was made here today, meaning that if Ukraine is going to make a final deal, they have to know that after a deal, they are secure, they have obviously a robust deterrence, and there's real backstops to make sure that this will not happen again. One of the reasons why President Trump is comfortable with where the security guarantees are headed towards is because based on his assessments and his conversations with President Putin is that if we can make the right deal, it would mean a deal where both sides look to de-escalate, that there's a real monitoring mechanism, real ability if there ever is a violation to have deconfliction and hopefully de-escalation. And obviously you create a robust deterrence, peace through strength, where it's unlikely that somebody will ever go and start this again. So this is a really important building block towards an eventual peace deal, and I think that it's a big, big milestone that was reached today between the Europeans with the Coalition of the Willing, and I really want to just thank the DoD and the whole amazing team in the U.S. Obviously, you saw last week the incredible capability of the U.S. military, and that's just a small piece of what they're capable of doing. And so they've been really thinking about this, and they believe that a real peace here is possible, and there are ways to stand behind it.
James Mates, ITV News from London. Mr. Starmer, Prime Minister, today's commitments by the United States are already being called a game changer, and I know there's a reluctance to talk about Greenland today, but what value do these commitments have on the very day that at the highest levels of government in Washington they are talking about seizing the sovereign territory of a fellow NATO member? Mr. Witkoff or Mr. Kushner, if I may ask you, the commitments made today, does President Trump commit to coming to the aid of any European forces deployed in Ukraine were they to come into conflict with Russian forces? Will President Trump have their back? And President Zelenskyy, if I may ask you, is this enough? You said before today you were 90% of the way towards a peace agreement. How close are you now?
Well, let me start. On the question of Greenland, I've been very clear as to what my position and the position of the UK government is, both in statements I made myself yesterday and in the statement that was put out earlier today. I've been equally clear that the relationship between the UK and the US is one of our closest relationships, particularly on issues on defence, security and intelligence. And we work with the US 24/7 on those issues. So far as today is concerned, the Coalition of the Willing was set up just under a year ago now, with the aim to bring about just and lasting peace. And we knew that that would require security guarantees. We worked on military plans, which were prepared over the early months of the year. To a point of several months ago, we were able to set them out with clarity. Today, we've made real progress on the political commitment, declarations and commitments that have been made today. The biggest meeting of the Coalition of the Willing in terms of the number of leaders here, and the first meeting of the Coalition where we've been sat together with our American colleagues around the same table, hammering out these issues. So this is the political declaration that goes with it. And we've made some real progress on those security guarantees. They're set out in the documents we've issued, but they include on issues such as working with the US on ceasefire monitoring, on binding commitments to support Ukraine, and on the operations headquarters here in Paris. And as Jared said a moment ago, and I thank Steve and Jared for all the work they've done in recent weeks, particularly on the security guarantees, and for being here today at our meeting. But peace is only possible because of the progress that we're making in these meetings of the Coalition of the Willing and that we've made here today. And I'm really pleased that nearly a year after we begun this work with the Coalition of the Willing, that we've got this far now with security guarantees. Of course, nobody is saying that is job done. Of course, there's more work always to be done. But we've made some real progress today, and that is a good thing for Ukraine. It's a good thing for Europe. It's a good thing for the United Kingdom because, of course, this is about our security, our defence, our freedoms, and the impact that it's already had over 4 long years on Ukraine, on Europe, and back in the United Kingdom.
The President strongly stands behind security protocols. Those security protocols are meant to, A, deter any attacks, any further attacks in Ukraine, and B, if there are any attacks, they're meant to defend, and they will do both. They are as strong as anyone has ever seen. Everyone on this panel, on this stage up here, has acknowledged that, as has almost all of the countries that sat at the table with us today. The President does not back down from his commitments. He is strong for the country of Ukraine and for a peace deal, and we will be there for the Ukrainians in helping them to get to that final peace, and we're confident we will get there. You want to say something, Jared? Perfect.
Thank you very much for your question. First of all, we have declaration, and I think this is a huge step forward, because 1 year ago we couldn't even think about it, and now we have this step. Yes, of course, not enough, not still enough. We will have document which will be supported, I hope, I'm sure, between us, will be supported by European parliaments, and that will be enough. Then we have really very good dialogue with American side. Thanks again, Steve and Jared. So we really have good steps forward. Yes, 90%, but we are each day a little bit closer. It's still not enough to have a peace, because enough when the war will finish, will end in Ukraine, we still have losses. So it's still not enough. Thank you very much.
Bonsoir, guten Abend, Bundeskanzler Merz, Michaela Wiegel, Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. Hier ist von vielen wichtigen Etappen die Rede. Eine wichtige Etappe ist vielleicht auch, dass Deutschland bereit ist, militärisch sich an der Koalition der Willigen zu beteiligen. Herr Bundeskanzler, reicht es, im benachbarten NATO-Gebiet Soldaten zu stationieren? Können Sie etwas mehr sagen, auch was die Erwartungen, die an Sie herangetragen wurden, sind? Sie haben es schon erwähnt, Deutschland ist der wichtigste Unterstützer. müssen wir militärisch uns stärker beteiligen.
Frau Wegel, vielen Dank für die Frage. Wir haben das sehr ausführlich miteinander diskutiert. Ich habe für die Bundesregierung erklärt, dass wir selbstverständlich bereit sind, auch an den Sicherheitsgarantien teilzunehmen. In welcher Form wir das machen können, ist zurzeit offen, weil das gesamte Paket der Sicherheitsgarantien noch nicht abschließend besprochen worden ist. Es gibt jetzt erste sehr konkrete Vorschläge. Wenn Deutschland sich daran beteiligt, dann bedarf dies zunächst eines Beschlusses der Bundesregierung und anschließend einer Bestätigung des Deutschen Bundestages. Ich werde der Bundesregierung und gegebenenfalls dem Deutschen Bundestag auch erst dann Vorschläge unterbreiten, wenn es hier zu einem Waffenstillstand gekommen ist und wenn wir in der Koalition der Willigen zu einer entsprechenden gemeinsamen Vorgehensweise Vereinbarung getroffen haben. Wir sind auf dem Weg dorthin. Aber ich habe in der Runde heute Nachmittag auch noch einmal deutlich gemacht, es kann auch richtig sein, beides zu tun. Sowohl Truppen in der Ukraine zu stationieren, das sind vor allen Dingen die Truppen der Ukraine, die gestärkt werden müssen, die unterstützt werden müssen, aber dann eben auch in benachbarten Staaten zur Ukraine weitere Truppen zu stationieren, die für den Fall einer erneuten russischen Aggression eingesetzt werden können. Ich spreche bewusst hier im Konjunktiv, weil das Ganze im Gesamtkontext, im gesamten Paket noch nicht ausverhandelt ist. Aber noch einmal, die Grundvoraussetzung ist, dass es einen Waffenstillstand gibt, ein Abkommen mit Russland über einen Waffenstillstand. Und dieser Waffenstillstand, der muss dann abgesichert werden durch entsprechende militärische Unterstützung der Ukraine. Und ich will es hier auch noch einmal betonen, es ist nicht nur eine militärische Unterstützung der Ukraine. Es ist eine militärische Unterstützung des Friedens und der Freiheit in ganz Europa. Und deswegen engagieren wir uns hier auch. Es geht nicht allein um die territoriale Integrität der Ukraine. Es geht um die dauerhafte Aufrechterhaltung der politischen Friedensordnung und Freiheitsordnung in ganz Europa. Und die haben wir immer verteidigt. Und da ist Abschreckung das Stichwort der letzten 70 Jahre. Und das wird es nach meiner festen Überzeugung auch für die nächsten Jahre und Jahrzehnte bleiben.
Cette conférence de presse est maintenant terminée. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup et tous nos vœux. Thank you.